How about a Wrangler 5-star finish from here in Martinsville? We look back to the 2002 Old Dominion 500. This is lap 206. Kurt Busch goes into the spin cycle. But with about 100 laps to go, he's back in the lead, and he held off a fast-closing Johnny Vincent in the final laps to pick up the win. Kurt Busch started 36th in this race 1 year ago. Lowest starting position for a Martinsville race winner. And for more on Wrangler 5-star finishes, log on to NASCAR.com. And we are getting down to the late stages of this one, the Subway 500 today. Here in Martinsville, just after a round of caution flag pit stops, Jeff Gordon held on to the lead. He's got Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jimmie Johnson, Tony Stewart, and Ryan Newman behind him in the top 5. Have some horsepower of a different variety next Saturday at 1 Eastern on NBC. The Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships from Santa Anita Park. Kentucky Derby and Preakness winner Funny Side returns to the track in racing's richest day. It's the Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships next Saturday, 1 Eastern on NBC Sports.
Jeff's been getting great restarts. BP, it's important right now because these cars down below want to clear them.
Junior laid back in the 8 car that time. See him lay back trying to get a run on Jeff so he wouldn't get hung on the outside of 22. Didn't work.
Burton in the 22, 23rd place, first car a lap down. Remember, he and his teammate Kenny Wallace tangled earlier while both were running in the top 10. 138 laps to go, just after we've gone back racing. Have we seen the leaders pit for the last time today?
I think if it stays green, absolutely, for sure.
What about if we get a caution? Say lap 425.
I think with 75 laps to go, they might stop. With less than 50 laps to go, I don't think they'll stop and give up track position because somebody's going to stay out there.
Right, 138, 139 laps on a set of tires. The speed differential between fresh tires at that point, that's going to make it a tough call on these crew chiefs.
Yes, it is.
See, Jimmie Johnson hung up on that 22 car, and he's lost, at least 2 or 3 seconds now on the leader because he can't clear that slower traffic. 2 seconds. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot here. This is when you really want to run into that guy. Stop racing me.
Now. Temper's temper.
Well, that's what you're thinking, believe me, because these guys are getting away.
It goes back to what you said at the top of the broadcast, Wally, about traffic all day. You're in traffic, and it gets frustrating.
It really does. And, Jimmie Johnson finally clears the 22, but now he's got a lot of ground to make up. Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman, all those guys are going to have to deal with the 22, and that's one way of dealing with it.
A little contact there. Nice save by Ward.
That's an easy way to deal with it.
Tony got in the back of him?
Yeah, just moving. So Stewart and Ryan Newman clear the lap traffic. Now 2 lap cars are side by side. John Andretti in the 1 and Ward Burton in the 22 are both not on the lead lap.
Andretti's about 4 or 5 laps down to the leader.
And the 16 of Biffle's not on the lead lap. And the 43 of Jeff Green. So the next lead lap car is 99 Jeff Burton. And he's hung up behind all those cars.
And these guys are racing, though. The guys a lap down are racing for position. They're racing hard. They can't just give up because you got a leader there.
They're racing for the lucky dog.
Yeah, and that.
Stay up there to try and be the first car lap down.
Burton gets alongside Biffle. Continue towards the front.
Jeff Green and who is that? Mike Skinner just rubbed together. Some tire smoke flying from between them. And look, now Skinner's got a fender rub.
Left front tire is rubbing the fender.
Robbie Gordon. What a job. Food poisoning or not. Remember, he was going a lap down earlier when we saw him hanging it out trying to stay in front of Jeff Gordon at the time. And now he's up in 7th place.
He got that Lucky Dog award, moved up to 7th.
Boy, Skinner bounced off the wall, getting off a 2, and then I'm not sure what was going on in between the 31 and the 01, but
something up there. Bill, how about Robbie Gordon's day?
Well, that's just one car maybe he hadn't made contact with yet today, but Robbie has not said anything about his health, so we're taking that as a good sign. You talk about the food poisoning. Last stop, 4 tires and fuel. They lowered the track bar, made an air pressure adjustment, trying to give him more grip. The car is a little free in the center. These guys are having an outstanding day. I think his best finish here, Alan, was his 15th in all of his starts at Martinsville.
Yeah, he's having by far his best run here.
Robbie has been loose. I mean, that looks like it's a little bit more than a little loose to me. So he's been driving the heck out of that car today.
See Rusty Wallace hanging in there?
I can't believe the 23's got another left rear flat.
88 cars spun.
Caution flags out.
How many left rear flats is that for a 23?
Dale Jarrett was running 13th when he got spun around in that jam up.
That's twice he's gone in spin cycle a day in the Oops car.
Yeah.
Should put OOS.
OOPS on it today.
OOPS. Oops.
Ward Burton will get the lucky dog.
All righty. Persistence. Paid off.
And there's Kenny Wallace with another left rear flat. You want to sing that lucky dog little ditty for us again, or?
Only when I get it, I sing.
Oh, okay. Hey, you'll be racing next Saturday in Atlanta. NASCAR Busch Series race. We're going to get a look at what happened forward from Jeremy Mayfield's view.
It's just that jam up. I mean, you can't see down the racetrack very far here. And when they start stopping in front of you, sometimes you don't get stopped quick enough.
The accordion factor.
The accordion factor comes into play.
And it's not a pretty tune.
And none of the leaders made a pit stop. All the cars, 4 or 5 cars laps down, pitted, but all leaders on the racetrack.
Jeff Gordon leads, 125 laps to go, 3/4 of the way through the Subway 500. NASCAR's race for the championship continues with the Subway 500. Martinsville, Virginia just crossed the 3/4 mark of the race, and we're under caution for the 12th time. I just love when things happen between drivers in the championship and they start throwing barbs and comments at each other. Kevin Harvick somehow made note that there was a website that was allowing you the opportunity to pre-order Matt Kenseth Winston Cup champion items. The folks at Roush Racing said, well, yeah, when you're in the hunt for a championship, you have to design these things in advance. You can't wait until the last minute, but we didn't give anybody permission to start offering them for pre-orders, and in fact, that website has since been taken down, this stuff from it. But Kevin said, let me see if I get the quote right here. He said that the Roush team allowing somebody to do the pre-ordering was, quote, showing a lot of confidence for an organization that screwed up championships in the past, end quote.
Oh, yeah.
Harsh words. He doesn't hold anything back, does he, Harvick?
Good.
And of course, again, just to clarify, the Roush group didn't give anybody permission to do anything, but you do have to start designing those things in advance. And in fact, Roush Racing President Jeff Smith came back and said, you'd think if the 29 was in the hunt for the championship, they'd be designing those things too.
And there are eyes everywhere. People are going to find that stuff.
How about it, Bill?
You hit it right on the button. I talked to Matt about that this morning. He had no idea that stuff was being posted. It's pre-orders for retailers. It's not something you can order yourself. You don't even pay for it. If you do, you get your money back. But the thing about it is, he said, go talk to Richard Childress, who's won 6 championships, and ask him. So I went to Childress at the driver's meeting. He goes, you have to order that stuff long in advance so you have the opportunity to prepare it, get it out to retailers, and have your merchandise ready for the banquet in New York. So it was Kevin Harvick's car owner, Richard Childress, who said, yeah, you kind of have to do that.
But isn't it fun?
It's outstanding.
Tell you what, Junior is in jeopardy of losing this second spot. Jimmy Johnson, his 48 car, is fast.
Yeah. Jeff Gordon leads, Dale Jr. second, Jimmy Johnson third, Tony Stewart fourth, Ryan Newman is fifth. 23 cars on the lead lap. Very, very few of them pitted under that last caution. Mostly guys toward the back end of the lead lap group. Mark Martin stopped, Ricky Craven, Casey Mears, Joe Nemechek, and Jeremy Mayfield stopped.
Looks like he's trying to get him lined up, BP.
I mean, all of a sudden the 8 car just will not turn in the middle of the corner. He gets in the middle. Before we've seen him turn and just go low. He can't do that now.
Well, now remember, Junior and Tony Eury Jr. have said this car is set up for the long haul. The first few laps, they're not going to be very good, but after a while, they're going to be better than everybody. Marty, I get that right?
You got it exactly right, Alan. It takes a little while for Junior's car to come in. Much better when the tires are hot and sticky. Now they're a little bit cold. He will be good at the end of this run. Matt?
Rick Hendrick has cars in the first and third position. We have a spin.
Trouble down the front stretch, Dave Blaney.
And
also Todd Bodine.
A lot of damage to that 77 car. He's hit that wall hard.
And the 54 has gotten both the left front and right front corners.
No, he didn't help that car. But look at the nose on that 77.
Yeah. It may be the smallest track on the circuit, but you're still crashing into something at better than, 75, 80 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
When you take a hit like that.
And these walls are just as hard here as they are any place.
Else, yeah. There's proof.
So this is yellow number 13. And I know you're going to ask me this. We're not even close.
No, I'm not, because I know that. I know.
Check this out. The radiator's broken in the 31 car. Has to be broken.
There's a lot of stuff broken on the front of that car.
Man.
Going 220 right now. Pits are open. I'm going to come in, okay? Sure, come on.
All right, let's see if we can dissect all this.
See Blaney down on the left side. Robbie. Top of 9 bounced off the wall when he slowed down. Nowhere to go for Robbie, or Dave Blaney for that matter.
Looks like 54, and who was that? He got, I don't know who he made contact with off the corner.
So yellow number 13 out. The record for most yellows in a 500-lap Winston Cup race here is 18. It's John Andretti that he made contact with BP. Oh, that's going to hurt. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.